Okay, this section is on, we're going to combine polynomials by adding and subtracting different sets of polynomials. And remember, polynomial means it has more than one term. So you can pause the video and copy these down. And I wrote out 4 different examples, and we're just going to say, is this a polynomial or not? Yes or no? So here I have 3x plus 1. Is that a polynomial? Yes, because it has 2 terms, 3x and 1. Is this a polynomial? No, it just has 1 term. Remember, this all goes together. To be separate terms, they have to be separated by addition or subtraction. Is this a polynomial? 1, 2, 3. Yes, it has 3 different terms. This is not a polynomial. That's just 1 term. So that's just to help you recognize things that are polynomials and that aren't. So we're going to start with adding polynomials. Okay, so you can pause the video and copy down number 1. And this is on adding. You'll notice there's parentheses here. This is just to group together the polynomials. What we're doing is we're taking this polynomial plus this one. So it's just showing the 2 different groups that we're adding. Now what we're looking for, we can only add like terms. And for something to be like terms, when your x's, they have to have the same exponent. So when we're talking about variables, you can only add them if the variables have the same exponent. And they of course have to be the same variable as well. I can't take x squared plus y squared because they're 2 different variables. I also can't take x to the 4th plus x to the 4th plus x to the 2nd because they have different exponents. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my like variables. So here I have x squared. I'm going to kind of box it. And are there any other x squareds I can add right here? So don't get confused with our exponent rules. These are like terms. This is saying how many x squareds do I have here? Remember, I have 1 here. How many x squareds do I have here? 2. So if I add those together, how many x squareds do we have? 1 plus 2 gives me 3x squareds. Do not change the exponent. We're just adding the coefficients, the numbers in front. Okay, now I'm going to look at my 3x. Are there any other x's to add to it? Right here is minus 4x. Always take that sign with the number. So I have 3x minus 4x. So all I'm doing is I'm taking 3 and I subtract 4. 1, 2, 3. To get 4, it's going to be negative 1. And then finally, I have 2 plus 2. These are like terms. We can take 2 plus 2 to get 4. If my answer is positive, this is a plus sign. If it's negative, it's a subtraction. And then do we have any other like terms here? No. Those are all unlike terms, so that is my answer. However, I am going to rewrite it because we really don't need the 1 in front of the x. So this would be the answer if you added those 2 polynomials together. So same thing now, I'm just going to look for like terms. So I'm going to start at the beginning, 2x squared, so I look for any other x squareds. Here we go. There's really 1 there. So I take 2 plus 1 to get 3x squared, adding the numbers in front. The next one is negative 4x, and then I have another negative 4x. So here what I'm doing is I'm taking negative 4 minus 4. Now negative 4 minus 4 gives you negative 8. So I'm going to get negative 8x. The x stays the same. And then I have 3 plus negative 4. So you can think 3 plus negative 4 or 3 minus 4, same thing. You would get negative 1. So I put minus 1 here. Sorry, that got a little squished. But you get 3x squared minus 8x minus 1 on combining like terms there. So those are 2 addition. Now we're going to do subtraction. Okay, our subtraction is the same thing, but it is a little tricky. because not only are we taking the 2x squared minus the x squared, but sometimes when we're looking at this, like if I'm looking at my 2x squared and I find x squared here, I notice a lot of students will see this plus and they'll accidentally add them instead of subtract. So you want to look here to see if it's addition or subtraction. Here's a little tip I have for you. This is what I do. I change it to an addition problem. So I'm allowed to do that. I'm going to change this to addition, so I just add them together. All I have to do is change the sign on everything in my second polynomial, only here. So I'd make this negative, make this minus, make this minus. And now it's just like adding. So now I have 2x squared minus x squared. So 2x squared minus x squared. That's 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then notice they're in a different order, so that's why we have to look for like terms. They're not always in the right order. So now I have 3x, and I changed it to adding, so 3x plus negative 2, 3 plus negative 2, or the same as 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2, see 3 minus 2 is 1. Positive 1, so I put plus 1x. And then I have this negative 5 plus, here's my like term, negative 8. So negative 5 plus negative 8, or you can think of it as negative 5 minus 8. And either way, you're going to get negative 13. So that goes on the end. Okay, I'm going to rewrite my answer the way I like it. You don't have to have the ones in front, so it's x squared plus x minus 13 is the answer. All right, here's the next one. That's a 3, by the way. Sorry, I kind of messed up. So what I'm going to do, whenever you have a minus, I'm going to add, and I'm going to switch signs, and everything in my second polynomial. So add, this becomes negative, this becomes positive, and this becomes negative 1. Okay, I'm going to start with my first term here and look for other x to the third. Here's x to the third. 4 minus 3 is 1, x to the third. Here I have 4x squared, and I find another 4x squared. Or an x squared, sorry. Here's an x squared right here. 4 plus 2 is 6. So I take 6x squared. I have a minus x here, so I find another x. I don't have one. So negative x plus nothing is just going to stay as the minus x. I don't change it. I don't add anything to it. All right? And then finally I have this minus 2, and here's minus 1. So negative 2 minus 1 is going to be negative 3. Negative 3. And you can rewrite with this without the 1. So x to the third plus 6x squared minus x minus 3. I double check. These are all unlike terms. If you have any like terms, you can keep adding. Or maybe you just made a mistake up here. We should have all unlike terms at the end for a final answer. Okay, if you think you understand this, I want you to pause the video, write this down, and solve it. This is the trickiest one I can come up with. And so if you can solve this and not be tricked, you are doing awesome. I encourage all of you, pause the video, try to solve this. And then play it and see where it's maybe made some mistakes, because this one is a little bit tricky. Here we go. I start at the beginning. I find anything else that has an x. Right here. Oh, wait, I already forgot. This is subtraction. Make it addition. Negative, negative, positive, negative. There we go. So here's one of the tricky ones right now. We have negative x plus x. So that's negative 1 plus 1. What's negative 1 plus 1 is 0. That equals 0. Those cancel out. They're gone. It's just 0. So you don't even write them. Okay. X to the fourth. Where do I have x to the fourth? Right here. 5x to the fourth minus 5x to the fourth. 5 minus 5, that's also 0. Those cancel out. They're gone. Wow. Okay. This problem's interesting. Now I have negative 2. So let's find just a number. Here's a number. Minus 3. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So that's my first thing I came up with. Negative 5 is the first answer. Now I have x to the third. Let's find x to the third. There is none. So that doesn't change. It's a positive, so put plus x to the third. And just leave it like that. So these are all done, but wait, I have this still. So I have, this is basically think 0 plus negative 4x squared. So it doesn't change, but I still have to write it. Let me change colors. I still have to write this out, because it still says 0 plus negative 4x. So write this negative 4x squared here. So that one was really weird. And then go ahead and put it in standard form. The highest degrees first, then the next highest, minus 5. You wouldn't get it marked wrong if you had it in this way, but I want you to get in the habit of putting it in standard form with the highest degree first and going in order. Okay, there's your notes. Be careful, take it one step at a time. I really want you to change subtraction to addition. It will help.